and welcome to the Puma in the Cage, our weekly chat show here at Puma Comedy, where we interview free comedians. And today I'll be chatting to Vlad Ilich, Brooke, Hoerr, and Mraihi. But first, have you seen what people came up with in order to have a cheeky McDonald's? I did the same thing, not with the cardboard thing, but I went through the drive-through on my wheelchair. Yeah, so my defense was the only place open and I was starving. So I just queue up behind the cars on my wheelchair. Hello. And the guy, when I had to do my order, he said, "We can only serve cars." And I went, "Well, I'm on wheels." And he went, "Well, fair enough." And so I managed to order food. Yeah, they didn't let me stop. Thank you so much, McDonald's. And on this note, let's start the show. So my first guest today is Vlad Ilich. Hello, Vlad. Thank you so much for coming on the Puma in the Cage.
Thank you for having me. It's a lovely Wednesday, and I'm glad to be here. Thanks again for inviting me. I'm looking forward to all the questions about food that I'm just assuming.
Because I'm Italian.
Yeah, because you're Italian. So I'm assuming there will be some questions about food there. Although I could be wrong.
Have you been cooking anything Italian recently?
Actually, I have. Actually, I tried to make risotto yesterday.
Oh, what kind of risotto?
Basically, an Italian friend gave me this recipe, and it's like you put the garlic in first in the pan, right? Until the garlic goes yellow with the butter, and then you add the actual risotto. And then you have to add water to the risotto. Now, this is the part where I forgot that I need to add the water. And literally just burned my entire risotto. It was supposed to be a date night dinner. And
and it went terribly wrong.
Yeah, let's just say I didn't get to jiggy that night.
Oh, dear. Well, that's bad. She didn't take the chance because maybe you're bad at cooking, but you're very good at jiggy.
Well, I think she already knows that I'm bad at both. That's why she rejected it completely.
You're not advertising yourself very well, Vlad.
No, I think what I should have done, I should have bought an extra bottle of wine.
That helps. Yeah. But what kind of risotto would that supposed to be? A mushroom risotto? A saffron risotto?
Yes. So it's supposed to be a sausage risotto. So
in preparation for the jiggy.
Yes. So organic sausage with prosecco. Okay. Prosecco on top, and then sort of not burned. Yeah, that was the idea.
Let me give you another couple of tips. I never use garlic when I do risotto. I use an onion. So you put olive oil, not butter. You put olive oil, onion. You let it soften up a bit. Then you put the risotto, the rice.
Right.
It has to go a little bit. Just like a few 30 seconds, let's say. And then you put white wine.
Okay, not sparkling wine.
No, white wine. And you let the alcohol go.
Let it vaporize.
Yes. Yeah. Once the alcohol is gone, then you put the water.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And the butter, you put it, someone.
I don't know what that was.
Someone, again, hello,
in the pajamas as well. Well done. So, now might as well come say hi. No, okay.
No,
go, leave. I'm going to cover the camera. Go. 3, 2,
Sorry,
1.
Hi.
It's okay.
Yeah, we're back.
Here we go. So the butter, you use the butter at the very end just to make it creamier. And yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
Yes.
tip.
Right. I will use this next time.
For next
Definitely.
time, at least you
Yeah.
know if she sees that you improved with your cooking, maybe then
Yeah.
she gives you
Yeah.
another chance on the jiggy jiggy too.
Yeah, we'll see. I think from now I'm just gonna order takeaway.
Uh,
That's because that's 100% chance I'm gonna get to prolong this proceed with the species. You know.
uh, what is your favorite takeaway?
I love Indian. I love Indian. So I have this place next to me in Hackney.
Uh-huh.
Really good food. Chicken tikka masala. That's my thing.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So you don't
Later
go for
night.
the super spicy one.
No, no. I like spicy food, but you see, I really miss like Balkan food, which is mostly like mixed grill. So you get lots of meat. I'm a very meaty type of guy, you know. So, or you get like either pork, like a little piglet in the oven baked.
Uh,
Oh, that's that kind of stuff really brings out the Balkan savage in me.
yeah, and you're from Macedonia.
Yes, yes, the fruit salad.
The
Yeah,
fruit.
that's the one.
Explain for the
Brown one.
viewers who don't know, who are not Italian, and then
Yeah. So yeah, Macedonia is a fruit salad in
in
Italy.
Italy, yes.
And like last time I went there, I was in Milano, and I was telling somebody, I'm from Macedonia, and they all tell me, I like the fruit salad. And I'm like, fuck off. I wasn't born in a mango, okay? It's a real country. It's a real country.
And is your the Macedonian food is similar to the Greek food?
Well, the Macedonian food, you have a lot of a bit of Turkish, you have a bit of Greek, and then we have our own traditional meals as well. But I wouldn't say it's too similar to the Greek, because Greek food is a bit more Mediterranean because they have the sea, so that more type of climate. But let's say we have some similar salads, for example, lots of salads in Macedonian food. But then we have some traditional dishes like with beans and sausages. And again, lots of mixed grill. We have these places called kafanas, which are like pubs. And you have them in Serbia and in Bulgaria. And mostly, you get a rakia. In Greek, they call it raki. It's like a small shot, but you drink it very slowly. It's very, this is heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Heavy stuff. It really, like the moment they invented rakia, it decreased the average age of the population. Because people just started dying younger from it's like 70% alcohol.
Yeah.
It's really,
yeah.
So we have that with the salads, and then we have the main dish, which is meat or fish. We have really good fish as well.
Nice. Nice. So in this lockdown, have you been doing something that you never done before? Maybe you should start learning cooking. Many people.
That I have attempted, as you've seen. I have for the first time in my life. I washed my clothes.
Yeah.
No. I've tried to fix the shelves. I was trying to screw in. That's a first for me. Before it was always
You're not much of a DIY guy.
I can be, but like here when you rent, my idea is it's not my place.
Yeah,
so
I can't be asked.
Why should I do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I pay for it. The maintenance guy should do it.
Yeah.
And when I was back home, I was still very young, so I wasn't into working up stuff and everything. You could say I was a bit of a, always with the arts type of child. So they always pushed me aside. They're like, you're not a manly man. You're not gonna fix anything. Go and do your acting. Go and do your Hamlet.
But so did you start comedy in Macedonia, or you started comedy here?
Actually, I started comedy in Malta.
In Malta?
Yes, that's where I lived for 4 years before I moved here to London. That woman that went in, she's Maltese.
I see.
Yes, she's my girlfriend. We met in Malta, and we came here to London together. So originally, I started doing comedy there as to help a friend. He asked me to do 5 minutes,
Uh-huh.
and then he didn't show up,
And you had to
and
do
I was
1 hour.
alone. Yes, and I had to do 45 minutes of comedy, and
Wow.
it was at a popular venue. It was at Hard Rock Cafe, at this place by the waterfront. It was packed, and the host, the owner of the pub, told me, "Well, I don't care. The people promised me 1 hour of comedy, so you have to do 1 hour of comedy because it's
Wow.
paid." And that was my first gig. I did 1 hour of bantering with the audience and literally roasting people. That's all I did. Was just there was a big table, 20 people having dinner, and I just went into one by one and just started roasting them. And I did that for 45 minutes until they kicked
Wow.
me out,
That
basically.
that takes balls. I would shit myself.
I have shat myself already. I just hadn't noticed. Larissa told me later because she said, "You smell." And I said, "I know." Let's get home faster.
Yeah, well, that was quite a big start. And
It was a big start, and actually it was really bad for me because I giving me 45 minutes. I actually thought I was funny, and which didn't help my comedy because I wasn't funny. so, so it took me a long time to
to
actually,
learn. So then you
yeah.
carried on there in Malta, and then how long have you been living here in the UK now?
In the UK since end of 2017, so
Oh,
almost 3 years.
okay.
Almost 3 years,
And
and it was actually
and
yeah.
you're doing this as a job here now. You won a
Yes.
competition, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Basically, I came here because Steve Healy, a Maltese comic, he recommended I come here,
Ah, okay.
and I did my first gig in London, and I realized how bad, how unfunny I am, and how much I need to improve. Which is good, you come with big ideas and you get
Yeah.
crushed at the beginning. It's
But
better.
is it because in Malta they have a different sense of humor compared to the UK?
That a little bit, that the culture a little bit, but also because in Malta there isn't really a comedy open mic circuit. So people who come out are not really comedians. Most of them are like either actors or improv people,
I
and they're
see.
doing sketches rather than like stand-up comedy. So I
Yeah.
never really learned the appropriate form.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came to London and I saw that comics are putting in jokes every 15 seconds, every 20 seconds, I'm like, oh wow, I'm used to making a joke once a minute. This is a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to start from zero, and it took me about a year maybe to get the whole system, and then it was just competitions, getting the awards in, and signing up with an agency, and literally becoming a professional comic
Yeah.
since then.
Well, you
Yeah.
did very, very well. Well done. Well done.
Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. I think I can. I'm gonna call the gypsy band in Macedonia now. Celebrate.
It's
Become famous in my town.
yeah, when you get back, a big parade. Vlad is back.
Yeah, they all think I've made it. That's it.
Of
They don't
course.
know I'm doing a gig to 7 people in a basement in Hackney.
Yeah. But have you been gigging now during the lockdown anyway?
Just online. So
Yeah.
I've been doing my own my comedy monster, which is my comedy club self promotion.
Yeah.
I've been doing a game show weekly every Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Basically, where comics compete for the first prize. It's very interesting. It's a bit of stand-up, improv, quiz, and the audience votes who's the best comic.
I see.
And yeah, and they're sort of they're competing against me as their host, and if they win, they can either choose to throw eggs at me, or they can throw a bucket of water. Obviously, my girlfriend does that for me. So yeah.
What
So
have
it's a
you been
comic versus
thrown so
host type of
far?
thing.
What have you
Sorry?
been thrown so far? Have you been egged?
Nothing yet,
Oh,
because that's the newest addition.
I
So
see.
only insults so far.
So nice. And
Which
tell
is
the audience where they can find your show online, where they can find it. What do they need to look
right.
for?
It's basically, if you just go on the Comedy Monster Facebook page, there's all the events are there, and the show is live, so you don't need a link. You just get on the page at the time, and the pop-up window will show up. Join
Yeah.
watch party. Just click join and enjoy the show.
Perfect, perfect. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's watch Vlad's game show. Let's see if he gets egged or thrown a
Yeah.
bucket of water. Now I'm curious. I'm going to watch you.
Yeah, the next show is tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Right. I'm going to watch it
That's right.
tomorrow then. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Vlad, for coming on the show. That was great.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Romina. And thank you for the risotto advice.
You're welcome. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, if by accident 3 months down the line you see a photo of me with my pregnant girlfriend, you know the risotto was good.
I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it. Thank you so much again, and good luck with your show. And I hope you see you in real life soon again.
Yes, yes. See you again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Next on, we have Brooke Hoerr. Hello, Brooke. Thank you so much for coming on the Puma in the Cage.
Thank you so much, Romina. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. How have you been? How are you doing?
Fantastic. Yeah, hanging in here. You know, better than some. It's a rough world out there, so we're keeping our head low and plugging away.
Yeah. Have you been doing something in particular in this lockdown period? Something new that you never done before?
Well, we've been doing a lot of online gigs, so it's important to evolve in a new environment and have something to look forward to. And so I've been broadcasting Big Smoke Comedy online through a Zoom platform, the free Zoom platform, on Friday nights at 8.
Nice. And how are you finding it? Do you like the atmosphere?
I do. It's lovely to see so many friends from around the globe show up on one screen. And that's been a really pleasant, warm surprise that I wasn't expecting. There was a kind of a general consensus, I think, in the stand-up community that online gigs would be a big drag compared to, the energy of a live room and the energy you get from a crowd. But I've found that there's other delights with online gigs, and that's one of them, that you can bring friends together from different corners of the world. Some friends who've never seen anything I've done are now able to log in and check it out. And that's just been always the highlight of my week.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I started a Zoom gig as well in Italian. And it's exactly the same. Many people friends of mine they've never seen me perform, now they have the chance to see me. And also we can reach out an audience that on a normal gig you can't reach because they are somewhere else, or many people, maybe they have kids and stuff, so they can go out, and in this way we can have a wider audience that we won't be able to have on a normal night.
I agree. It's a happy accident, I suppose.
Absolutely. And so you do the Big Smoke. Do you do anything else? What else is keeping you busy in this time?
Well, I've put a lot of things that I do with improvisation on hold. Although I am participating in one this Thursday. We're going to experiment with some improvising online through Instant Laughs, and I've agreed to participate in that. So we'll see how it goes. That's normally something that I enjoy a lot. which is getting together with a group called Caretakers and, being goofballs on stage and communicating, using the group mind and following the fun.
Yeah.
I miss that. I suppose during the day, I'm sort of putting feelers out to do other contract type work. But I keep an open mind. So, it's always good to have something scheduled like today's chat and stay busy. Yeah.
Anything that gets thrown at you, like, let's do it, let's try. It's good to try. You never know. Maybe, some comedians they're not so keen on on a Zoom gig. But I think, if you don't try, you never know. And I tried it the first time and I had so much fun. I said, okay, I like this. I have to do it as well. So
I tried one for a charity gig, and candidly, that one probably was the only one that I felt a little awkward on. But I think, that's not indifferent than going up and doing your first 5 minutes on stage. It's a growing pain.
Yeah.
Anyone needs to endure if they want to be understood through, a computer screen versus in live comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. Did something ever happen to you? Something funny or I don't know, funny heckle or something funny from a gig? Usually they're from bad gigs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if pain plus distance equals comedy, and my pain is, someone else's laughter. I definitely had a bad gig really early on, in that when I got here to London, I came from Chicago where I was an improviser, and I'd went through a number of schools there all at once and immersed myself and, sort of, I don't know if I did 10,000 hours, but I was doing it a couple times a day, every day a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got to London, I realized London's a stand-up town. So, I was sort of working up the courage, comedy gods say do stand up here in London. So I was working through the courage to do that, writing things down at home. And I don't know if you've ever been in this sort of state of mind where, you're not feeling the full belief in yourself. So in this case, everything I wrote, I just would sort of crumple up and say, nah, that's no good. So then I thought, all right, well, I just need to follow the advice of a stand-up comedian that I'd met in Chicago when we were improvising at the Laugh Factory. In between stand-up sets, there was a comedian named Felonious Monk. And he said, Brooke, you should get into stand-up. And I was like, a little terrifying. And he said, you just need to go up on a microphone and talk. And then eventually people will laugh at something and you'll start to clue in on those things and piece them together and get a 5 minutes and then a 10 and move from there. So I decided, all right, I'm going to go up on a microphone and talk. And I was really, my first gig started on accident, really. I just went to show up at a gig to watch called Crown the Knave, but it was being run by Janet. Is it Bettendorf? Do you know Janet Bettenworth? I think it's Janet.
Yes.
Sort of an elder stateswoman of the stand-up community here.
Yeah.
And so I was just hanging out in back, and she asked if I was one of the acts, and I said no, but I can be. And she said, all right, well, there was an act that didn't show up, so we'll put you up. Do you have anything to say? And I was like, maybe. So I went up there and made fun of my name a little bit, and then I had a rap I had written in Chicago, and I taught the lady in the front row whose birthday it was how to beatbox, and so that went pretty well.
Uh-huh.
And then I went and checked out another open mic called where is it? It's I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. It's over at the Betsy Trotwood.
Okay.
You know which gig I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's the I'll think about it and I'll come back to you. I can't remember the name right now, but I know which one you mean. Yeah.
I'm embarrassed not to know. So then Jonathan Hearn said, I can't get you on tonight, but come to my other one, Gestures. It's Jester.
Just for Jester, yeah.
Right. So Jester Raconteurs, he said, come do Jester Raconteurs in a couple days. So I went and did that. Did that rap again a little bit, and that went over well. So then I saw this open mic for the Blackout.
Mm-hmm.
at up the creek.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that it was a competition. And I had nothing
It's
to say.
brutal. Well, not as brutal as the Comedy Store, but still same
Yeah,
concept, more or less.
Well, I would have preferred the Gong Show that night because, I just had this rap, but I couldn't pull anybody up from the audience because you're up on a platform, and that's just not the format at Blackout. So, I went up there and said, "Oh, can you get me on tonight?" And they said, "Yeah, sure, we'll get you on the list. Just come back in an hour." So I came back in an hour, and since I was last to sign up, they put me on last. And I watched comedian after comedian after comedian go up and crush their 5. And I didn't have anything to say. So I was just panicking. I was thinking, should I run for it? And then I just thought, just take the pain. And the challenge in that case with having nothing to say is, unlike the Gong Show, I couldn't get booed off straight away.
Yeah.
I had to endure 2 minutes of get him off. Literally, I came out the stage and there had to be about 200 people in the room. It was a packed night, 150.
Yeah.
And not a single person would look at me.
No.
Not a single person would look at me. So that was painful, but
Yeah.
I didn't die. I really, the redness was like beaming from my head. And I came home to my wife and I said, it wasn't that bad. I kind of liked it. I kind of liked the humiliation. I felt alive, and then once you go through that, it's like, we're not being shot at. This isn't a war.
Yeah, it gives you quite a tough skin if you do those kind of Have you ever done the Gong Show?
I've been up there once. Yeah, I checked that out. I noticed I think if I were to go back, which, there's a chance I'll go back for sure, that another comedian, Peter Kelly, told me, who I saw win it or finish second one night and get a spot at the Comedy Store. He says, "Brooke, you got to treat it like a political rally. Because if you pace yourself as a comedian, which oftentimes I do, since we've got the time, I use that silence in between. But if you give silence to the Gong Show crowd, that's all they need to start lipping off." And so, I think going back, seeing people who've mastered that show and won it, you just got to push the jokes out one after another and let the laughter be heard over your mouth.
Yeah.
But I would not talk.
Although I saw a comedian who won, but she was taking all the poses, but her character was a little bit like that, very slow and relaxed. So that and worked in her favor, and she won in the end. So I don't know. I think that with the Gong Show, there isn't really a rule.
Good point.
Just, I think you just have to be on at the right time with the right audience. The usual luck. You have to be really lucky, because I saw many brilliant comedians there crashing down, and it's just.
I agree. I will say that you've got to be on that night, but certainly the people who win it, aren't really lucky in that case. The people who win it nail it.
Yeah,
but certainly there's a lot of people who don't do well that are fantastic in that case.
Yeah, who also deserve to win, but that night wasn't their night.
It is just pure. It's just like a gladiator. It's blood sport, and the people are animals, and in that crowd they're probably like the worst kind, because they're the suited up city folk that think that comedy is abuse, comedy is tearing people down, and they're just the nasty.
They go just for that. They go for that. They're going over it. They leave their house with the purpose to crush you down. All your dreams and hopes just.
Well, think about it this way, you know, they're probably stuck. They're probably stuck in some corporate environment where they're licking boots all day, and they just can't wait to dish it out on somebody else. So
yeah, but we carry on, don't we? We
do,
don't
of
care.
course,
We
of
don't
course.
care. We carry on.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brooke, it was really, really nice chatting to you. Our time is up. And thank you so much again for coming on the show. Good luck with your smoky gig on Zoom.
Thank you. Big Smoke Comedy. You got to come on sometime, Romina.
Absolutely. Whenever you want, just let me know. I'm up for it.
Thank you
just
so
let
much.
me know. And thank you so much. So check Brooke's gig on a Wednesday, on a Friday, you say?
Friday, 8
Friday
p.m.
night.
London time. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the day.
Will do. See you later, Romina.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. And my last guest of today is a very good friend of mine. Is with us, Marouen Mraihi. Hello, Marouen. Thank you so much for coming on the Puma in the Cage show.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for my first time in here. Puma in the Cage. That's a good name.
Thank you. You're welcome. It's good to have you. Well, you are, anyway, one of my resident comedians at the Puma Comedy. You performing on the Italian night. You are the resident Improv group on the Wild show. And so that was the only one that you were missing out. So here you are.
Yes. There's no two without. There's no three without two, right? Oh, so there's no two without three. Yeah, this is the French expression. Third show. Yes.
Where are you? What have you got in the background? Are you in New York? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in my condo in New York. I wish. So I love, as you know, I don't do comedy full time, basically. I work in IT. And so I'm impressing my customers. Every time I go to a customer meeting, I will choose something like this. Like I'll put this background, and all of them they ask me, "Are you at work?" I says, "Yeah. Our office is open." And sometimes what I do is like I choose. I know where they work. I chose their office, the building, and I took it from Google, the picture of their building, and I put myself just in front of it. And I said, "I came to your office. They didn't let me in." So I love to do that. And when I'm with my friends or in shows, sometimes I use things like, let me show you one of these. My favorite is this one. I'll start with my favorite. Amazing, huh? I call him Bobby.
Bob, you named it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Or places like this kind of, or I say, this is the view from my garden.
Oh, yeah.
Or they ask me, let's leave this one. It's like, it's hot today.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice breeze.
It's amazing. Zoom is amazing with these things. Yeah.
Yeah. I have fun too, and it's funny because if you don't have a proper green screen, when you change the background, if it's only one person, it's fine. But if there are two people, one always gets blended in the background thing, so you appear and disappear. And I just,
The one thing I didn't tell you is that the reason why I'm putting, it's fun to put the Zoom background, but the real reason why I'm putting a Zoom background, it's like in my office, I have like a mirror behind me, like a whole mirror on the wall. So if I don't put the Zoom background, people can see that I'm working in my pajamas. So I did forget it once, but it was like an internal meeting, and my colleagues told me maybe you should to put some shoes. Okay, I'm wearing like stuff, but I need to put some shoes. So this is it. Basically, I said, okay, I need to put background.
It's a bit like, I don't know if you've seen the video of that journalist that he was he was in his pants.
Underwear,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
And, just a
I'm not that
jacket,
desperate.
the jacket, shirt, everything nice from the waist down. Just pants, underwear. That was it. Oh dear, oh dear. And so as you were saying that, so comedy is not like your main job. What made you start comedy? What intrigued you to start doing comedy?
To be honest, you. Seriously, I'm not kidding. So I attended the first show of the Puma because I speak Italian, and when I moved to London, and I spoke already Italian, and I loved the stand-up shows. And then someone told me there's this stand-up show in Italian, so I will have a look. So I went to a first night. It was really interesting. It was somewhere underground in a pub, but underground. And then he didn't do a show for some time, for a few months. And then you did a show where you had an Italian TV filming, and you had a big guest, Battista, I think.
Yes.
It was a big one. And then at that time, I got the courage to speak to Giacinto, and I said to Giacinto, I think I have some ideas. I want to perform them. Can you? No, I didn't say performing. I had some ideas, and I want you to read it. Tell me if it's good enough. And I wrote something for the Puma, but without thinking of a perform it in the Puma, just like me thinking, writing stuff. And I even wrote it in English because I don't know how to write very well in Italian. And I sent it to him, and he asked me, and I checked with you, I guess. He said to me, do you want to perform? Do you want 5 minutes? And I said, yeah, I think I can do it in Italian. And then, And then at the end of those 5 minutes, you came to me and he said to me, do you want to come in 2 weeks? And that's it. That was the beginning of 4 years in the Puma.
Wow. Oh.
Amazing, yes.
Oh my God. I'm so, thank you so much. That is such a lovely thing. I didn't know that I inspired someone to start comedy. Because usually it's Alex that blames me for doing comedy. But at least you don't blame me.
No. But for me, it was always fun.
Good. But so you do stand up when you do the Puma, but you also do improv.
Improv, yeah. To be honest, I mean, without insulting anyone, I think I feel better. I enjoy better improv because I think if I tell you, how many times you perform and you do a good night, but you go home and you're not happy with yourself. It's like there is this thing of, and there is a competition between, comedians. It's not always like who gets more money. It's like, I think often we don't get paid at all, right? Even
Most
with
of
that,
the time.
and I don't know about you. No. So yeah, with improv, the first rule is make your partner look good, and I love that. So it's never a one-person job, and you've seen this with some improv shows. And the purpose of it when you go on stage is to have fun. I know sometimes it looks like we are having fun more than the audience, but the purpose is just to have fun, to enjoy, to interact. For us, we like it when the audience have fun, when we interact with the audience, and that's it. So this is it. And it's less effort, less work, honestly, more interaction, more connection, and that's it. I guess you feel it, for example, when you perform and then you have a good heckler, and then you interact and the heckler gives you some content and you use it, and then it goes crazy. So this is the feeling I have when my partner or my partners interact with us and then we build something nice. It doesn't always work, but when it works, it's amazing.
And I'm a witness of that because you did lots of performances with your improv group, which is not always the same group. You change your partners in crime, and it is fantastic. It's improv, it is improvised, but in a way you have some sort of little things pre-prepared.
Structure.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a structure. Of course, you need a structure. I mean, it's like, you know, you need a structure. It's like a movie. When you shoot a movie, you need to have a structure. You have the ideas, but you need structure. And this is it, basically. We need to, until now, with the Puma, we are doing games. Hopefully one day we will reach the level where we can do an entire story. And by the way, I mean, I think the experts in improv, they know this. The fact that it does not always have to be funny. It can be impressive, but doesn't have to be funny. It's like when you go to the theater. I mean, there will be some scenes, some funny scenes, but like you can have, I don't know, a horror scene on theater. Why not? But you will be like kind of impressed. And this is the real improv, where you can do everything on stage. So hopefully we'll get to that level with the Italian audience, hopefully. And that's it, basically. It's we are building on successes of the previous the Puma Wild.
And the fact that you don't have to be funny necessarily, doesn't have to be funny, that takes off a lot of pressure, because like you know, when you go on stage and you have to, and you do stand up, well, if you're not funny, you're fucked.
So in improv, we have something called services, where it's just like let's say, for example, I go on stage and I say to someone, thank you for coming to this meeting. Isn't this restaurant nice? And you come in and you give us the menus, and you just to put the table, you clean the table and go. See, you were not funny. No one was funny, but you confirmed that location. And this is good. The audience, they love that.
Ah, I see. And so now, obviously, with the lockdown, live shows, have you been managing to do anything live on Zoom or something?
So, yes, my improv group, my dedicated improv group called Improbotics, we did a show actually previous weekend, last Saturday, and it was amazing. It was our first live show, and I think we were like 8 or 9 improvisers live, and it was broadcasted on YouTube. It was amazing. We have one of us is like a director. He's cutting our heads from Zoom, and he's putting us in scenes. So even ourselves, we get surprised. Imagine you're looking at yourself, and then you are in a field with someone else, and you need to interact.
Wow.
And it's amazing. So we did an entire show. If you want to see this, the next show will be on the 21st of June on the Paris Fringe event. If you go to parisfringe.org, it's around 9:30 Paris and Rome time, 8:30 in the UK.
Yeah.
I think, just to be checked. It's amazing. I think it's everything we are doing live. And I just read, I think just before this call, I read a review, and it's amazing. We got 4 stars out of 5.
Wow.
But the guy loved us. He said he's used to our previous show, live show, and he said these guys, they made a good work in moving this into online. And all the problems we had, they are normal problems of IT technology and things like this, which is nice. Yeah.
Nice, well done, 4 stars.
Thank you.
That is brilliant.
Thank you.
You see, wow, that is really, really impressive. I'm really happy for you. That is great.
Thank you.
And so you keep working, obviously, of your normal daily job. You're not one of those people that is at home that have a lot of spare time to do other new things.
I wish. I don't have time to make a sandwich to myself. I need to. Lately I started doing, like, while I'm on the call, on Zoom call, I disable my camera, put myself on mute, go downstairs, make a sandwich, just to have the opportunity to make a sandwich while being on the call. And then, yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, I think my work doubled. Unfortunately, some people lost work or they are furloughed, and some other people like me, it's like imagine from 9 o'clock till 5:30 till 6, non-stop Zoom after Zoom after Zoom.
Wow. Yeah. And after that, you don't want to see Zoom anymore.
No. Thank you, Romina, for inviting me to this.
You're welcome. I hope that is your last Zoom meeting of the day.
I will close it.
Yeah. Are you living with someone or you're on your own?
No, I'm with my family, which is good. So basically, my partner is working from another room, from the living room, and so it's good. Like sometimes we see each other at 6 p.m. Say hello, good morning. So yeah, we're so busy. Yeah.
Well, at least, being both busy, it didn't affect the relationship, probably, in a way.
No.
You find the right balance, which is good.
True, yeah.
It's like, it's a tough thing, to live with someone and, you have to stay there all the time together. It's not easy. I think some couples just bye.
But what's interesting is that we both have the same thing. First thing we do in the morning, we go down in the kitchen and we check on the grass. I don't know why. We are impressed. We are obsessed with the grass because I think since this lockdown started, we said, okay, let's have a project. Let's improve the grass in the garden. Let's improve the plants. Let's put some plants on. We have some patches in the grass. So we put this magic magic grow, something
like fertilizer or something.
Exactly, and it's like, I don't know, it's a new passion. It's weird how people change.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah. And, to be honest with you, I'm the same. I mean, I'm not going in the garden first thing in the morning, but I go and check if my plants are growing,
are still alive.
Yeah. So I also have a family of foxes that are wandering around here.
Yeah.
So I always check if they damaged my pots and stuff, because my neighbor, she's got all the pots all upside down. It's all such a mess. So I go and check them. Let me see if they damaged mine too. I'm going to kill them. No, I won't. They're very cute, but I will be very upset. Oh dear. Anyway, Marouen, that was lovely. Thank you so much for coming on the Boom in the Cage.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for inviting me. You're welcome.
Hopefully I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Have a lovely rest of the week and go and rest now. No more Zoom calls for today.
I will do what I do to finish Zoom calls. I know it's weird, but it's a good thing. It's like bye-bye with the hand, bye-bye.
Yeah. Or if you want to shut down quickly, just pretend that you froze.
No, I mean, I have the background is not helping me.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
We'll change the background.
I think I will think about it when I'm doing these calls where everyone is there, and I pretend I'm still there. I put the picture instead of myself, and I go downstairs to have a sandwich. Like, yeah, I'm still there.
I'm still there.
But I'm talking, nobody can see my mouth moving.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Thank you, Marouen.
Take care, Romina.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. And that was it for today. Oh, I know. But if you had fun, come back next week. We'll be back next Wednesday at 7 o'clock on the Puma Comedy page on Facebook, live streaming. And I'll be chatting to David Lewis, Davina Bentley, and Daniel Rubinstein. So see you next week.